Hey guys, it's Tris here from the Brick Side. Welcome back to the channel. Apologies for not putting out any content recently. There's been a lot going on here, including an op I had last week on my nose. Basically, for years and years, I've not been able to clear colds for weeks and weeks, and it turns out I had a deviated septum, so my nose was on the wonk, and they've sorted that out hopefully. So once the swelling goes down, hopefully I'll be able to breathe a lot easier. But today we're talking about my absolute favorite theme for collecting and investing. Now that is Speed Champions. So let's get into it. Now, my earliest childhood memories of cars were probably playing this game here, Car Capers. Now, my granny had this, and I remember sat around the kitchen table with my granny and granddad and playing this. You had to roll the dice and collect pieces and make full cars, and it was the person that made the most cars that won the game. Not only that, I remember having this Matchbox car here, this really old Porsche 911. Absolutely love this. I remember my dad taking me to a TVR garage. It was similar to this, and there was loads of TVRs out on the forecourt, and I just fell in love with the styling of these, the Chimera, the Cerbera. And growing up, I really wanted one of these. I think I was probably only 7 or 8 at the time. In 1997, my dad took me to my very first touring car race. Here in the UK, we have the BTCC, the British Touring Car Championship. I don't follow it anymore, but back in the day, I did. When you had the Super Tourers, you had this car here, the Renault Laguna. I absolutely love this one. My dad, he also took us to the Formula One in 1998 when you had the Jordan Honda, and then back to the touring cars. We used to go to Silverstone, we used to go to Thruxton and Brands Hatch. And yeah, throughout the years, 97, 98, you've got these Renault Lagunas here. Absolutely love this car. And the 99 one was my all-time favorite shape. I was a massive Jason Plato fan at the time, and this evolved. My dad used to take us to motor shows. We used to go to the auto sport show. So my love of cars has grown from a very young age. Now, I passed my driving test when I was 17 years old. Here in the UK, you have to be 17 to start to learn to drive and to pass your test. Obviously, in the States, it's different depending on where you live. So here, carpet rule, 17 years old. I turn 40 this month. I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. I don't look it and all the rest of it. Appreciate all your thoughts in your comments. But yes, I turn 40 this month, and I'll run down my car history, which is very brief, and this will only take a few minutes. So here we go. This is the first car I ever owned. This is a 1.1 Ford Fiesta LX. I think the LX stood for luxury. It had a sunroof. And yeah, this cost me about 500 quid. It wasn't this exact car. This is just a stock photo from the internet, but it was this color. And I put some Sparco stickers on it, thinking that was pretty cool. I think I had a racing steering wheel with it as well that was way too small, so it made turning it really difficult, but I loved it. I thought it looked really cool. It didn't. Second of all, I inherited this car here. It wasn't this one exactly, it was similar, a Renault Megane. Wasn't very exciting, but it was a 1.6, a little bit more power, and eventually it blew up on the way to on my way back to university one weekend on the motorway on the M5, so it had to be recovered. That was it. The big ends had gone. It was shot. Next up, we have possibly one of my favorite cars. This is a Ford Fiesta XR2i. So this was based on the Mark III Fiesta. I had it in red. This image, obviously, it looks superb here. It didn't look as good as this. There was a fair bit of rust and things kicking around because it was pretty old when I got it. Here is my actual car. So it was red. It had the cool blue stripes down the side of it. The fog lights at the bottom, which when I got it, they didn't work. I paid about 300 quid for this car, had a load of welding done to it, and eventually sold it for 700 quid. It was a little go-kart, a little pocket rocket. It was absolutely awesome. And yeah, if I could go back and own any car that I have previously and get it again, it would be this one, Ford Fiesta XR2i. Next up, I had a Toyota Celica VVT Li with a higher lift cam. It had 190 horsepower. It had lots of issues, actually. It had a belt that kept going and it kept squealing, which was horrible. I don't know why Toyota weren't able to sort that out, but it looked super. I remember buying this car and driving it and thinking I was in a Ferrari or something because you were sat so low in it. It was a really lovely car. And yeah, this is my car with the black alloy wheels that I had put on it. It was a beautiful car, it really was. And I only got rid of it because I needed some more space because I was getting a dog and there was no boot space for a Labrador in this. And that leads me to the car that I own now. I've owned this car since 2012. It has now done 177,000 miles. It just keeps on going. It is absolutely phenomenal. I've got a friend who's a mechanic who does all the mechanics for me. He services it. He's just put some new rear calipers on because the caliper seize over time, some new rear discs, some new pads. So it's had a fresh lease of life. There's some other bits that I need to sort on it, but it just keeps going and I refuse to get rid of it. I paid £5,000 for this back in 2012. It came with the ProDrive Performance Pack, so it's got around 250 brake horsepower. I don't really need any more. It is brilliant. It's a family car. It's the wagon, so it's got the boot. So it's got quite a decent sized boot, actually. So you can fit the dog in there. You can fit a load of luggage in there, bikes, all sorts. And kids' seats in the back. It's brilliant. I will drive this car until it blows up. So when Lego released Speed Champions, I was definitely on board. I was buying these, building these, displaying these. Love the theme, really do. And now as a Lego investor, they are superb. So here we have a screenshot of Brick Fanatics. This is the retiring list for this year. This is what is scheduled to retire. So first of all, 31st of July, you've got the McLaren Formula One car, the 23 Formula One car. Personally, I'm not going to be investing in this one because you have the new McLaren Formula One car. I can see that it's selling on Amazon still quite decently, but I think people are still picking it up because it is cheaper at the moment. We haven't seen a discount on the new cars, although that is just about creeping in now. I think there's a few quid off in a few places. But yeah, for investing, not going to be investing in this McLaren, but I do own this in my personal collection and I've created a short of this. On the description, I'll drop in some links for all of my shorts where I've built Speed Champions. And then also on the list, so we have from the bottom to the top, the Aston Martin Vantage safety car with the AMR 23. And now I've talked about this car before in a previous video. You've got the Mercedes AMG G63 and the Mercedes AMG SL63 double pack. You've got the Lambo Vision V12. You've got the BMW double pack, the racing cars, the Audi S1, e-tron Quattro, the Ford Mustang Dark Horse, and you've also got the Too Fast, Too Furious Nissan Skyline GTR. So let's take a look at these sets in a bit more detail. Let's have a look on Amazon at the moment. So here we go. On this screenshot, we can see the McLaren Formula One car. Now you can see it's selling 2,000 units a month. Now that is pretty decent in the UK. You can see it retails for £21. Now this was subject to the price hike that we had here in the UK in 24. So all the cars that released at the beginning of last year, the Speed Champions, they retailed for £20. They bumped up to £21, or in the States, they bumped up to $27. So you can see there is a bit of a discount on this one, and we've seen bigger discounts. It's currently $17.99 on Amazon, down from $21. And I think the reason why this is still selling quite well is because it's cheaper than the new one. I think people are still looking at it, picking it up, buying it as gifts because it's simply cheaper than the old one. And I'm sure there will be people that want to collect all of these. And then moving across on the same screenshot, we've got the Aston Martin safety car, an AMR 23 Formula One car. I've spoken about this before. I think this will do well into retirement because of the safety car. I think people will want to pick the setup to create a Formula One grid where they've either got one of each car or a really big grid where they've got two of each cars. And I think people will want this to put at the back of the grid. The Aston Martin safety car looks brilliant. Then next up, we have the Mercedes double pack, the AMG 63 and AMG SL 63. Retails here for £45 on a good sale at the moment on Amazon, $32.99, and this is reduced in a number of places. I think it's reduced in Smith's Toys, and I think it's reduced in Argos as well, I think, at a similar kind of price, which is good. Here we can see 800 units bought in the last month, and for this time of year, that is pretty good. My reservation with this one is simply the size of the box. Have a look at this. Now, this is compared to a normal Speed Champion size box. It is huge. It's probably bigger, or probably about the same size as a Star Wars helmet box. If I'm going to say a little bit bigger, it's huge. And my strategy at the moment is to buy a large quantity of Speed Champions. And this, yeah, it just takes up a lot of room. I'm going to create a short with regards to space, because sort of value for money and value for your investment based on space. And I do think this set will do well, personally. Remember, none of this information is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment only. So please do your due diligence and do your own research before investing in Lego. I do think this one personally will do well. I think it's a really cool looking set. I like both cars, especially the G Wagon, as it were. I have this for my personal collection. This is my own box in the photo. So yeah, I do really like this one, but it's a huge box. If space isn't an object, then I would be going in on this one. But you've probably seen my current situation. It's getting a bit tight in the loft, so possibly not a set I'm going to invest on based on the size of the box. Next up, we have the Lambo V12 Vision. On Amazon, it's on a little bit of a sale. We've seen it drop down to around £18 recently. Nothing like the other cars at the moment, but selling 1,000 units a month, which is really, really good for this time of year. I've spoken about this set before. This is one that's definitely on my radar. It's on my top 10 or interchangeable top 10, if you will, depending on the sales that we get. Lots of people are skeptical about this because it's not a real car, it's a concept car, as I've touched on before. Personally, I think, look at the demand, 1,000 units sold in the last month on a bit of a sale. Imagine if this goes on to a deeper sale later on. My personal opinion I think this set will do well, and I am going to be investing in this set. And then on this page here, you've got the, not retiring this year, but the next gen Chevrolet Camaro NASCAR, only selling 300 units a month. I've seen the figures for this set has been quite low, so I don't think there's as much of a demand for this, certainly not in the UK. Is that because we don't get NASCAR? Where in the States, is this selling better? I would be interested to know, you guys watching in the States, what are the sales like for this? 300 a month bought in the past month here in the UK, I think is pretty low. Obviously not retiring, so not on my radar, but just something to note at the moment. And then we've got the BMW, the race car double pack, selling again 300 units a month on Amazon here for £36, so on a bit of a sale, down from 45. This isn't one that my personal opinion is I don't think this one is going to do as well. I could be completely wrong, but personally it's probably not a double pack that I will be investing in. I think there will be better investments in Speed Champions. And then moving on, we have the Audi S1 e-tron Quattro race car, currently selling 800 units a month on Amazon, with a sale price for £17, down from 21. So it's a bit of a saving. I think this will do well personally. It's a set that I am going to invest in if we get the right discount. I've seen these figures higher. I've seen this around 1,000 units a month, and certainly around Christmas, obviously the sale units go right up. It's a set that I think is a really nice looking set. I love the car, the grey, the contrast with the grey and the red. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. And then we have the Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Again, the unit sales are a bit lower on this one. You can see here 600 a month with a bit of a saving. I actually picked up a number of these last year, so the year before they retired, but they were down to £14 on, that was on Toys R Us actually, when you could get Lego sets from Toys R Us when you could order them online. Yeah, it's not on my radar as much because of the sales quantity. I don't think it's doing quite as well. And then lastly, I've not spoken about this car because I actually started investing in this last year, and I'll show you some more details of that. I'm going to show you my spreadsheet. This is the Too Fast, Too Furious Nissan Skyline GTR R34, so Paul Walker's from the films. I love this car. I've got this car in my personal collection. It's fantastic. If you like Fast and Furious, and how many films are there? Absolutely loads. I think people will be watching Fast and Furious films for years to come and will want to come back and pick up this set. Currently selling 1,000 units in the UK a month on a bit of a saving, $15.99. Yeah, I'll share my spreadsheet with you in a minute. But not only do we have that car retiring, we have Suzuki's Honda, which if you go on lego.com and look at Speed Champions, it pops up. It's one of the 21 sets currently on Speed Champions. This is being released in June. I think this looks superb. Too Fast, Too Furious is my favorite of the films. I think it's brilliant. I remember the first time I watched this, just before a lad's holiday, we stayed up around a mate's house and watched it, and I've watched it a load of times. I've got the DVD somewhere, and that's up in the loft. And I actually paid to watch this. I paid £3 to watch this on Amazon a few weeks ago. Yeah, I think it's superb. Not only that, but you can see the price of this is going to be £23 in the UK, and again, $27 in the States. So we've had a bit more of a price hike than you guys. But I think it's a clever time for Lego to do this with all of these Formula One cars. I thought maybe it's just going to be the Formula One cars that are seeing this £23/$27 price hike. But yeah, clever time for Lego to do that. So I'm just going to share with you here my spreadsheet, or a screenshot from my spreadsheet, which is an inventory of every Lego set that I own for investing. So you can see column A, you've got the theme Speed Champions. Column B, you've got the set numbers. Column C, you've got the name of the set. Column D, you've got the quantity. Column E, you've got the recommended retail price. F is D times E, or E times D, so that's the total recommended retail for all the items that I own. You've got G, so that's the actual price that I paid for the set. So you can see here I paid an average price, a price of £15 for a set that retails for 20. And then H is my total spend, and then I is my average spend. So you can see here in column 53 and 54, you've got two of the same sets. You've got the Fast and Furious Dodge Charger, but you can see that I bought 4 at £15 and then 3 at $13.32. So that just shows when I've paid a different price for the same set. So these are essentially orders. And then you can see further down the Lamborghini Countach, I've bought 8 at £12.79. where I bought 7 at £13. And then at the end, you can see that the average price for the Lamborghini Countach I paid was £12.90 over the, let's have a count up, 26 Lamborghini Countaches. That's, yeah, average price £12.90. These are going for over £30 on Amazon at the moment. So it doesn't take a genius to work out why this is my favorite theme to invest in, and also to collect personally. I love these highly collectible cars, and I've missed out myself on sets that I'd like to go back and pick up, and I'm happy to pay a premium for them because there isn't the stock. I can't go into the shops and buy them anymore, so I'm forced to go to eBay or Amazon to pick these up to complete my collection. As always, guys, I hope you appreciate the research that goes into these videos. I share with you everything, all of the knowledge that I've obtained over the last couple of years. My next video, I've got what should be a pretty big hitter for you guys, where I'm going to share everything that I've learned about Lego investing, all of the failures, all of the successes that I've had so far. So stay tuned to the channel. Please like, it really helps the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and drop me a comment. What are the themes that you're most excited about picking up this year for investing? Let me know, and I will see you very shortly in the next video.